The time period from 1877 to 1900 was a time of new inventions and extraordinary advances in technology. One example of this was the first time that man flew.
Tell me about the first attempt at flight, the one that failed.
I was the one who attempted the first flight with our homemade flying machine. It was a little disheartening when I stalled during takeoff and slightly damaged the plane, but we repaired what needed to be repaired, and 3 days later, on December 17, 1903, Orville set out to attempt this flight for the second time.
Orville, how did you feel the day when you knew that you were going to attempt to fly?
I was a bit nervous on the day, but I was confident in our craftsmanship. Also, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina had the best flying conditions in the country. Our innovative engineering helped us solve some of the problems that associated with heavier than air machine-powered flight.
How was it flying, knowing that for the first time in history, someone achieved heavier than air flight?
Yeah, just say it again.
How was it flying, knowing that for the first time in history, someone achieved heavier than air flight?
It was a wonderful experience getting up in the air and doing what no man had ever done before. There aren't words to describe it.
Wilbur, what did you feel when you saw your brother lift off?
To see Orville successfully lift off and be airborne for 12 seconds was the most rewarding experience I have. All of our hard work and effort paid off, and we had accomplished some astronomical for humankind.
1852. Alicia Otis introduced the safety elevator, which allowed for people to safely move between floors. This, plus the use of steel frames and glass walls, led the way for skyscrapers to be born.
What is a skyscraper?
A skyscraper can be known as one if it protrudes well above its built environment and changes the skyline, but if it's more commonly known as a very tall building. They are common in cities. One of the most famous include the Empire State Building.
When was the first skyscraper built?
It was built in 1885 by an architect, Major William LeBaron Jenney.
How tall was it?
10 stories high.
And what is the tallest building today?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Burj Khalifa. Burj Khalifa of Dubai. It is 2,717 feet high with 160 stories. It was built in 2010. Skyscrapers have grown quickly in a short time, rapidly changing our skylines.
Yeah. Due to the population boom during this time, inventions needed to be made to address the overcrowding in urban areas. One way to maximize city space was the building of tenements.
Yeah.
What are tenements?
A tenement is a multifamily urban dwelling, usually a few stories high.
How did tenements help battle the overpopulation problems?
The goal of tenements was to take advantage of all the vertical space to save horizontal space. So now in the same area that one family lived, and now at least 3 families could live in. They were very popular in New York during this time. Although the tenements were still crowded and very unsanitary, the idea of tenements came from the idea of building up instead of out.
Why was there such a big overpopulation problem?
Because America industrialized, so many jobs opened in the cities working in factories.
What was life like for the average factory worker?
Dirty and crowded, the working conditions in factories were awful. There were long hours and dangerous conditions. Also, many factories employed very young children, so all in all, working in a factory was very risky and for very low pay.